finding a number when the percent is known. You can do this using two different methods. The first method is setting it up using an equation. Part equals percent times whole. Let's take a look at this question. 82 is 5% of what number? The first thing I want to do is I want to take this question and then translate everything using numbers and symbols. So let's start with 82. I'm going to go ahead and take 82 and simply just write it. Next I have the word is. Is means equals. So instead of is, I'm going to write an equal sign. 5% of, when I see the word of, that means to multiply, multiplication. So I'm going to multiply what number? Well, I don't know the number. This is our mystery. This is what we're solving for. So I'm going to use a variable here, and I'll use x. So let's continue simplifying and solving this equation. 82, and when I have 5%, I actually have to find the equivalence using the decimal. So that'll be 0.05 times x, and I'll just put x. We have to divide both sides by 0.05. And 82 divided by 0.05, we're going to actually multiply top and bottom, numerator and denominator, by 100 because we can't have a decimal as a divisor. So we're going to rewrite this as 8200 divided by 5. And x equals 1,640. Now we're going to do the same exact problem but using a proportion. And when using a proportion, you set it up as the percent over 100 equals the part over whole. Whole is the amount you started with, the original amount. So part is a part of that whole. So if we look at 82 as 5% of what number, we know that 82 is a part of a whole, a full original amount. So let's rewrite this. Since we know that 5% is our percent, we're going to write 5 over the 100. And this equals the part over the whole. So 82 is the part, and we're looking for the whole. So I'm going to use x here. And going back to proportions from our earlier videos, we know that we have to cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply this. This will be 5 times x, so it's 5x, equals 82 times 100, which would be 8200. Then we're going to divide both sides by 5. And I don't know if you remember from the previous slide, but this was the same exact equation we were solving when we used the equation method. We ended up with 8200 divided by 5, which gets us the same answer, 1,640. I want you to try this one on your own, and you can choose any method. Some of you prefer using equations, and then some of you prefer using proportions. This would be a good time right now to pause the video, and afterwards, go ahead and hit play, and I'm going to show you both methods solving this problem. Okay, let's try the equation first. So I have 30%, so I'm going to write 0.3 for 30% equivalent using a decimal. And then I see the word of, so I'm going to put a multiplication of what number? X is equals 96. I will now simplify this. This will be 0.3x equals 96. Divide both sides by 0.3. I'm going to multiply the divisor and dividend by 10 since I have a decimal in my divisor. And I'm really solving 960 divided by 3, which equals 320. And now let's try this using proportions. Okay, so we have percent over 100 equals part over whole. So I'm going to have 30 over 100 equals part, which is the 96, over the whole. We don't know. Since it was 30% of what number, we didn't know what the whole was. And we're going to cross multiply, so we have 30 times x, which is 30x, equals 96 times 100, so it's going to be 9600. I'm going to divide both sides by 30. And I could divide both the divisor and dividend by 10, which then helps me simplify this to 960 divided by 3, x equals 320, the same answer. So you could choose either method, whatever you're most comfortable with.